Mabrica! Welcome to a new episode of Let's Talk Taíno. I'm Priscilla Colon, co-founder and creative here at Casa, Areyto, where our mission is to promote the Taíno language and culture. Today, we're going to be talking about geographic landmarks. But I'm going to show you how you can easily figure out which geographic landmark we're talking about by breaking it down into its essential parts. Now, let's begin by talking about the word parts that we're going to be using today. So let's review the word parts. Que, earth, soil, or dirt. Ni, water. Bo, big or great. Koa, place. Koa is a word part that you've never seen before, but we're going to be using it a lot today. Now let's do an activity where we're going to look at a word, break it down into its word parts, and then figure out its meaning. Are you ready to get started? I am, so let's begin. Let's start with the first word, koakeni. Now let's break it down into its parts. Koa. What does that mean? That's right, it means place. Que. We learned that part before. It means earth. And ni, of course, it means water. So, can you guess what koakeni means? Do we know a place where the earth and the water are together? Let's take a look at the answer. That's right. Koakeni means coast or beach, the place where the earth and water meet. That wasn't so bad. Do you want to try the next one? Okay, let's look at this word. Koaboke. That sounds like a mouthful, but let's break it down into its word parts. Koa, we learned that means place. Bo, you know that word, that means big or great. And que, do you remember what that means? That's right, earth. So, can you figure out what koaboke means? A place with big earth? I'm not sure about that one. Let's take a look at the answer. Koaboke means continent, because that is a large landmass. I know that one was a little tricky, but I think the next one will be a little bit easier. Let's take a look. Can you guess this landmark? The word is Oguatukoa. Let's break it down. O, at the beginning, is mountain. We learned that word before. Guatu, in the middle, is fire. That's right, we learned that too. And today we learned that koa means place. So, what is a place that has a mountain with fire? I think I know what that is. Let's take a look at the answer. That's right, Oguatukoa means volcano, a place where there's a mountain with fire. Don't you love that? A lot of these landmarks are very descriptive, so you can use the word parts within a word to figure out what the landmark means. Now, why don't we review one more time everything we learned today? Koa, place. Que, earth, soil, or dirt. Ni, water. Koakeni, coast or beach. Bo, big or great. Koaboke, continent. O, mountain. Guatu, fire. Oguatukoa, volcano. Mabrica! Welcome to a new episode of Let's Talk Taíno. I'm Priscilla Colon, co-founder and creative here at Casa, Areyto, where our mission is to promote the Taíno language and culture. Last week, we learned about geographic landmarks, and we're going to continue learning about new ones today. However, all the ones that you're going to learn are going to be brand new. So let's get started with some vocabulary that you will need to complete some exercises. The Taíno word for geography is Guacayara Guarocot, geography. Now let's learn the landmarks. Guacara, cave. Abo or Abon, river. Toabon, large river. Itabo, swamp. Nitabo, freshwater lake or pond. Notice that there is a difference between Itabo, swamp, and Nitabo, freshwater lake or pond. That ni at the beginning means water, and we have seen that before. Now, let's do an exercise to see if you remember these words in Taíno. I'm going to give you a riddle that we're going to try to solve by answering it with the correct Taíno word. Now, let's get started. Let's read our first riddle. You find it in the Florida Everglades. Now let's take a look at our options. Is it Guacara, Abo, or Itabo? Is it Guacara, Abo, or Itabo? What do you think? Let's take a look at our answer. That's right, it's Itabo, because Itabo means swamp. That makes sense because the Florida Everglades are a wetland, that is a swampy area. Now, why don't we use this word in a sentence? We can make the sentence, Florida Everglades agama Itabonagu. The Florida Everglades have swamps. Are you ready for the next riddle? Let's take a look. The Amazon is considered this. Let's look at our options. Guacara, Toabon, or Itabo. Guacara, Toabon, or Itabo. Now think hard. What is the Amazon? And do any of these words make sense? Let's look at the answer. That's right, the Amazon is Toabon, because Toabon means a large river. Now let's use it in a sentence. Amazon toca hek Toabon. The Amazon is a large river. That wasn't so bad. Let's take a look at our last riddle. Spelunking is done in this. In order to solve this riddle, you need to know what spelunking is. Can you guess what that sport might be? Now let's look at our possible answers. Guacara, Toabon, or Nitabo. Guacara, Toabon, or Nitabo. Let's take a look at our answer. That's right, it is Guacara, cave. Spelunking is a sport that is done in caves. It means going through caves, sometimes cave diving. So that's why the answer is Guacara, cave. Now, why don't we create a sentence using the word for cave? Yaraka, Tequeta, Guacaranagu, Mun Boriquen. There are many caves in Puerto Rico. Do you see what a huge sentence we made just by adding a new word, guacara? Wasn't that a pretty easy breezy lesson? We learned some new words for geographic landmarks, then we were able to solve some riddles to guess what the landmark was in Taíno. And we created new sentences too. That was a lot to cover even in a short lesson. Now let's review one more time everything we learned today. Yara, there. Guarokot, science. Guaca yara guarokot, geography. Guacara, cave. Abo or abon, river. Toabon, large river. Itabo, swamp. Ni, water. Nitabo, freshwater lake or pond. I hope that you enjoyed today's lesson. I'm excited to be learning so much more about geography and geographic landmarks. Thank you so much for joining me and learning along with me, because I know together we can do it. If you want to stay in the know, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also click on the Linktree link below to sign up for our newsletter. You can stay in the know and get sneak peeks about upcoming episodes. 2023 is also bringing some cool events to the community, so remember to follow us and also follow at Taíno Conference. In the meantime, taikara ya guaitiao nago.